GetLoveDreamingPeach.com. I laid in the bed. I'm all snuggled up under my blankets. My new cute, this is a kitty size weighted blanket. I finally decided it was time to try one. It's only 7 pounds, and it's more like the size of a throw. And I like it. I've always thought that I would feel very claustrophobic at night with a weighted blanket, and in fact I did. I had it on top of my other blankets for like not even a minute, and I was like, oh, I have to get it off of me. But when I'm awake during the day, it's nice. So I don't know. So I wanted to add a couple of thoughts about the question about Blake Lively, which would say, a hypothetical I'm going to pose. Oh, let me put up this. Well, it's sideways because I'm the one that's actually sideways because I make the video landscape. Because, anyway, I'll explain that later. But, okay. So this is a note that I made to myself. Blake gladly steamrolled and then got a lot of bad press. So she decided to try another thing, essay allegations. So this is a theory I have that she thought, my shit don't stink, and I'm a fucking stylist, and I'm all that, and I'm all this. And I think that, so what Justin's lawsuit said was that his team had already spent considerable amount of time, energy, and effort purchasing the wardrobe for Blake Lively's character, which had been thought out in great detail. And from what I understand, they already purchased the wardrobe. Then she came in and was like, nah, bitch. Lily Bloom is rich, motherfucker. I'm rich, bitch. I'm going to wear couture. I'm going to wear catwalk clothing. I'm going to wear the fucking weird shit I want to wear. Fuck you and fuck your budget and fuck all the work you all did. I want to be who the fuck I want to be, okay? And Justin was like, you know what? Fuck it. Just let her. Just let her fucking do that. If that's what she wants to do, even though it fucks up a lot of stuff. Again, I'm paraphrasing. Fucking just let her. Oh, another extremely very important point. Let me get this off. I'll go with the hardcore snow. I don't mind it. I like it. I'm putting myself down here so the captions and the words can go. The other point I was making in I think it was Peter Tragos who was talking some more about it. Oh, he did a video called Blake Dead in the Water, which is what Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian, what's his name? Brian something. He was like, hated it. 2 snaps in a circle. Bitch is going down. She dug her own hole. It made me think again about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and that text that they showed that Johnny Depp had said, and they tried to make it seem like Johnny Depp was such an evil person who was vindictive on a smear campaign, out to fucking ruin her, because he said something like, I don't remember what it was exactly, something about like she's going to destroy herself, or I will absolutely destroy her, and it's going to be all her own doing, like something like that, but without knowing everything that she had put him through, reading. Oh, and there was another one about, I will do something like actual to her dead body and then like bury it in a Civic. Like, oh my god, the pettiness. Oh, The specific civic was so petty, like, oh my god. Like, bitch, you are basic as fuck. Oh, so what I was saying though about Justin was that he made a huge, gigantic mistake, in my opinion, where he failed to recognize that the intimacy coordinator was not there just to protect Blake Lively, but to protect him just as much. And anyone who thinks that an intimacy coordinator on films, shoots, and things is only there for the woman, you are incredibly sexist. And I'm not saying that Justin was incredibly sexist. I'm saying Justin made an incredibly ignorant and sexist mistake, which was to think that the intimacy coordinator was for Blake instead of for both and all, everybody's protection, not just Blake, not just Justin, but the camera people, the staff, anybody who would be in that room, both and all actors, literally everybody, the editors who are going to edit the film later, like everybody connected to any film needs to be protected. And so having an intimacy coordinator should never, ever be negotiable. And no actor should ever have any say over whether or not they, to me, it's like you're not going to make a car and say, you know what? I don't want seatbelts. No thanks. It's going to really fuck up the vibe. It's going to ruin the aesthetic. So let's just do without them because I'm fine. I'm fine. No, it's not just for you. It's for everybody. Okay, because if you get hit and you go flying out your car, now you become literally a moving target that could kill somebody else. So Justin made an enormous, gigantic mistake where he failed to recognize that he needed the intimacy coordinator to protect him just as much. Because if he had said, well, I appreciate that you feel comfortable, but the intimacy coordinator is for everyone's safety. And it's just standard. It's not negotiable. So you're doing a movie where there's going to be intimate scenes. You have to you have to meet with the intimacy coordinator. Just like Alec Baldwin thought that getting trained on using guns or training the other people, the staff, the actors, that was like negotiable or optional. Certain things can't be optional, and that's something we have to start to learn. There should always be an intimacy coordinator all the time, non-negotiable. Nobody has the right or the power or the say to opt out. It's not optional, it's mandatory, bitch, okay? And if Justin had insisted, I cannot meet with you privately and discuss these intimacy scenes because I need to be protected, you need to be protected, and we need a witness as well. In fact, we should fucking record these things now that I know, now that you've crashed. Now that you were driving around in the car that didn't have seatbelts and you crashed a few too many times and actually did severe harm or got harmed, now you know that seatbelts or intimacy coordinators are non-negotiable. Period. And I was saying, recording the sessions would probably, add costs and all that stuff. But if you record sessions with the intimacy coordinator, then that's another level of protection. First of all, if it's always being recorded, then that would hopefully deter, unwanted behavior because the person would know where I'm being filmed. And it also creates a sense of evidence, but it also creates like a CYA. And of course, somebody could say, well, they did it when the intimacy coordinator wasn't there and we weren't being filmed. But that also is true of anyone, anywhere, anytime. So I still think that you have to have safeguards in place to avoid this kind of misconduct, or at least have more safeguards in place for everyone. So that's my recommendation. But I also will get to what I started that other video to say, which is that I do think it's possible, it's a feasible, reasonable thing to imagine that, let's just say Blake already thinks of herself, like she has herself up on a pedestal, which I think is kind of clear from some of the interviews that we've seen her do. So she's very arrogant. She's a narcissist. And when I say narcissist, I mean somebody who truly loathes themselves, does not love themselves, and because of not loving herself, and I'm speculating. I'm speculating that she's narcissistic, and I'm speculating about it that she's deeply insecure, deeply insecure. I think that there was an Anna Kendrick interview with, what's her name? Christy Flaw. And apparently Anna Kendrick does not like her, but she was being so raw. Like, there was a scene in the little interview where she said, and I say little, it was only a few minutes, Anna was saying to Blake, oh, the question was something about being insecure. She said, in the movie, Blake's character is very confident, and Anna's character is very insecure. And then she said something about, like, how do you feel in real life? Like, and I guess like it's kind of a deep question. She's like, how do you feel about confidence in your real life? Something like that. And Anna immediately started to say, oh, well, it's actually the exact opposite in real life. I have all the confidence, and she's deeply insecure, and she constantly needs me to prop her up and to tell people like you. People do like you. And it was like, I don't think these are jokes at all, folks. These are not jokes. And Blake looked so, like, and on one hand, she was like, she looked really surprised, but then at the same time, she was like, yeah, lots of talking off the ledge. And I was like, oh, okay. So she just like accepted that and kind of owned it. But it didn't really seem like it, I didn't get the sense of like, they're really tight and close. And Anna is like basically spilling all her tea, telling people her deepest insecurities, which is kind of like not cool, because if you're actually talking somebody off of a ledge because they're so deeply insecure and you have to constantly reassure them that everybody likes them, I mean, that's toxic. That is like, that ain't it, girl. That was weird. I mean, of course we want our loved ones to prop us up sometimes, if we're feeling down or lacking confidence or feeling a little insecure. Of course you want your friend to say, oh, you got this, babe, you're amazing, or whatever. But she was like, it's constantly. So just going deeper into that alleged, made-up, speculative narrative, and then also looking back at her photos, of Blake from when she was much younger, and she had like a schnoz. She had a honker, okay? Her lips also were a lot thinner. So she was cute, she was alright. She was aight. I mean, actually kind of fucking goofy, but still green eyes, blonde, tall. She's a decent looking girl, maybe a little homely. Okay, so I'm just imagining she's kind of homely. She's got a big fucking schnoz. But she's wealthy. I think she's a Nepo baby. And, she probably wanted to feel like a lot more glamorous. So she got a nose job or two. She got her lips, what do you get, filler. Maybe she got a little, like, a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And like, I mean, if I had a little bit of, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'd look prettier if my face was just a little. Let's see. Look at how pretty I look. Look at how pretty I look. It's 11:23 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Okay, so yes. Oh wait, and didn't she have like a bunch of kids? So just a few photos of her, how she used to look. So my theory is that this girl, she was pretty wealthy and she really wanted to be an it girl. She wanted to be a mean girl. She wanted to be a cool girl. But, you know, she was alright. I mean, she certainly got something. She's got some charisma. She could have definitely worked with what she had. And this is what she did. She used her money to transform herself from this into this. And who are her parents? Who are Blake Lively's parents?
According to Wikipedia, her mother, Elaine Lively, worked as a talent scout, and her father, Ernie Lively, was an actor.
So they were already in the film industry, I guess, and they had some pull. Also, so she's like 12 years younger or 10 years younger than Ryan. So let's see, she's 37, so she was 25 when she married him and he was 35. So my theory was that, you know, she wanted to become who she is now. She was aspiring to be this super powerful, rich, you know, person. And so he has a lot more money and power than she does. But, oh, and then they have 4 kids. So she was pregnant for damn 4 years. Okay, and I think the youngest, I think the oldest is like 10 or something. So they're still really freaking young, like crazy young. Wait, is that right? Oh my God, they're 10, 8, 5, and the kids are 10, 8, 5, and almost 2. 2 in a month. That's insane. But anyway, he's got $350 million, or he made $30 billion. I had said $3 billion from Mint, but it was possibly $30 billion. So Ryan Reynolds' net worth ranges somewhere from $350 million to $30 billion, okay? So anyway, my theory was that she thought, I'm all that. I can fucking steamroll in here. I can bulldoze my way. I can do whatever I want to do. I can wear what I want to wear. I can say, no, this character has money, and if that's what I want to do, that's what I can do. Apparently she changed VFX, visual effects. So she did come in and make a whole bunch of changes, but it doesn't sound like any of them were wanted by the director who had worked on the movie for 5 years. But because she and her husband are rich and powerful, he acquiesced and he allowed her to do that. But then, finally getting to the fucking point, the backlash was bad. And people didn't like her outfits. People didn't feel that her wardrobe was appropriate. So one of the things that she very specifically changed got bad reviews. Apparently she had taken out some of the sex scenes that she felt were gratuitous, and that's something I don't mind. I'm like, take it out, take it all out. I don't need to see it, especially if it's DV or SA. Like, I don't want to see it. So I'm not against that. But they, they screened Justin's take, Justin's director cut, and her actress cut, or her actor cut. And she had said, first of all, she like insisted on making her own cut, which is super weird and outside of industry norms. She kicked him out of his own fucking editing studio, made a cut that he didn't even see, let alone oversee. And she did all of this unilaterally without their blessing. She did it by bullying and using her position of power and money. So what I think is that she did all that thinking, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to get the PGA and I'm going to get all these accolades. And instead she got backlash. Instead, she thought she was going to be, you know, it's like she thinks that she's funny. She thinks Ryan is funny and she thinks she can just like, again, I'm speaking for somebody, I'm speculating. It seems as if she thinks that whatever the fuck she's doing, she thinks it's funny when it's actually kind of offensive or outright offensive. So maybe she thought, I'm powerful, I'm rich, I'm going to fucking take over this movie. And not only am I not going to get in trouble for it, I'm going to get accolades, I'm going to get awards, and I'm going to get a fucking PGA credit. But then people were like, what's up with that wardrobe? And people were like, what's up with the way she's promoting this movie? What's up with her promoting her own brands? What's up with her not answering questions about DV survivors with any kind of understanding? Like, did this lady learn anything from doing this movie? That's another thing. Another incredibly important point that I'm making to myself. She worked on this movie and she learned nothing? Nothing except, let me accuse this man of this? And again, I can see why people would say, well, that only makes me think that it's impossible that she's lying. Why would she lie? Exactly. She's supposed to be learning about DV survivors and victims. And she's going to twist that, of all things, into a claim that this man is DVing her just so that she can gain sympathy from the public and make them despise him, so that she looks like she comes out on top again? Are you telling me that her reputation is so destroyed and taking so many hits year after year that she would actually destroy somebody else to try to step on his fucking burned up bones of destruction that she was very happy to incinerate and light and fucking throw away the key and spread the ashes into her fucking whatever on her Hollywood star of fame? And people are like, she would never. Oh my God, what happened to her was so bad. So bad, what happened to her? What seems like what happened to her is she's getting called out, she's getting caught out, and she's getting found out, and she's getting shown out, she's going to get ass out. And, you know, sometimes you think that, oh, my battery's dying. Sometimes you think that somebody would leave their spouse once they were, you know, revealed as a grifter or as a really terrible person. And like, again, with Alec Baldwin and his wife, Hilaria. You would think that he would be like, but he's known. He knew when he married her that she was from fucking Boston, having sidebar, but then talking like she's born and raised and spent almost her whole life in Spain. Of course he's not going to leave her when the world finds out she's a grifter. He fucking already knew that. And he married her. He married the grifter. So that's kind of how I feel about Blake Lively. Like, why would he leave her? Because she's a mean girl. And like, people are able to believe what they want to believe, and especially if it's the way that they can cling to the reality that they know. So lots of people, as well as, I think, number one, Ryan Reynolds, is going to cling to the idea that of course she has to be telling the truth, because if she wasn't telling the truth, everything I know is literally shattered. So the Grand Intuitive 666 says, oh, he's definitely leaving her. I don't know, but I think she's definitely done. She's toast, she is cooked, she is fried, she's charred. She is Blake unlikely and unlikable. Justice Baldoni. That's my take. Hopefully we'll see the truth soon. See you, bye. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube, catlovedreamingpeach.com, and my website, same name. See you. So, yeah.
dreamingpeach.com.